Hi, Jen here from Jen Michelle Coaching. Today I want to talk about feminine energy and feminine accountability. These are two things that can seem kind of like a paradox, right? And so I want to break down how to integrate feminine energy with feminine accountability, two very important things in supporting us in all stages of love and intimacy. For those of you new to my channel, I would love to invite you to subscribe. I release a video weekly. I see a lot of women who have experienced or who will come to me and share that when they are deepening and beginning to learn and become more curious around feminine energy, that they feel very limited. It makes them feel like they are dimming their light, that they are supposed to just like be quiet or be dumb or rest all day. And, there's no sort of discernment in integrating feminine energy with the truth of who you are. And so I want to kind of break this down a little bit. Discernment essentially means judging well, right? And so it's about noticing within yourself where you are seeing what you want to see versus seeing the truth of what is. It is where you are feeling limiting and letting fear take the lead, and where you are opening up and sharing the truth of who you are, while also noticing those edges that can put us in our masculine. So you're noticing if you're getting pulled into your head, if you are judging a man or your partner, if you are going into righteousness where you are compromising intimacy to make your point or to state your case. But it doesn't mean that you can't be passionate and have an opinion and be strongly sort of connected to a sense of like what you believe is right and integrous within yourself. This is where that discernment piece gets like fuzzy for many. It doesn't mean you're saying yes when you really mean no, or it doesn't mean that you are just supposed to like relax all day and let life's responsibilities pile up until you're a stressed out mess, right? It means that you're aligning internally with how you want to feel. And you can write the email or you can write the email, right? You can view it as a gift or as a privilege, right? I do that a lot in parenting because parenting requires like connecting to the present moment within the mundane. I can do the dishes from a place of resentment and frustration that there's so much going on, or I can really root into my body and ground myself and bring a presence to it and connect to a more sort of devotional energy of how I contribute to the life of those that I love, right? And so it's an energetic. It doesn't mean you're not doing or saying anything. It means that you're really connected to how you feel and what's driving you internally. And you hold yourself accountable to working with that inside of yourself, so you are approaching love from a space of growing intimacy and trust, growing the love and possibility, versus choosing to be right or choosing to just like repress it all and have it like accumulate until there's some big eruption later down the line, right? So the first aspect I want to really make sure that is understood in this is discernment. Internal discernment too. You're judging well. You're deciding what's motivating me. Am I kind of falling away from where I want to be, or am I moving closer to it? And you're making those subtle internal adjustments. If you make a mistake, you just clean up your mess humbly with humility and you realign and start again. Number 2, awareness around where you are seeing what you want to see versus seeing what is. This comes up a lot, especially in the dating stage, but it can come up in relationship too, because sometimes we'll enter relationships so excited and eager to be in it that we ignore red flags in that excitement and don't recognize places where we're seeing what we want versus the reality of what is. We can easily subconsciously sweep things under the rug that don't fit the narrative in which we're looking to feed, right? And so this is a really important aspect, to take a step back and watch who another is, how they show up to things, right? This is something we can fall prey to on social media, where we think that we want to be with like a conscious man, for example, and he looks like a conscious man. He's wearing all the garb. He's got the right music, the right setup, but he actually doesn't live that way, right? And so we are looking for the qualities that a man embodies. Does he embody a strong masculine, high quality, energetic? Is he true to his word? Does he do what he says he's going to do? Does he succumb to ego trappings on the regular? What path is he walking? And so these are the qualities in which we're looking for. And we can easily sweep aspects of this under the rug because we want the relationship, or we want things to work so bad that we don't hold ourselves accountable to seeing the reality that's being presented to us. And so a beautiful invitation is to take a step back, slow yourself down, and really be thoughtful about what's presenting and what's motivating you. And don't lose yourself along your journey, right? Because you are worthy of the deep love that you want. And when we go into these interactions forgetting that, this is when that biggest tendency to like just kind of rationalize kicks in. And so staying really present for yourself and remembering your own value will support you in seeing fully who a man is in that moment in time. Number 3, trusting your intuition is an important aspect in this. And so this requires us to slow down, because so often in love, we will do it from more of a headspace, like checking this box, right? Like he's got this going, he's got that going, more of those like survival mechanisms, like, oh, he's got a good job, he has a nice house, he does this, he does that, checks all the boxes, right? And we will be so focused on the checking of the boxes that intuitively we may be feeling a different current that we haven't considered or tapped into. And so this is the difference between sort of feeding those more survival oriented, boxes versus like intuitively what we're experiencing underneath that. Like we're noticing the way he interacts with the server, the way he treats his mother. Does he have long-term friendships? Is he nice to animals, right? These little things, those are the things that are more revealing of who a person is versus checking all of the societal acceptable boxes, right? So you are connecting to the gentle heart, the loving aspect of who a man is, because if you're focused on just him checking the boxes, there will always be this undercurrent of never feeling safe, because there's this whole other realm that hasn't been explored and that isn't potentially lining up. And so it's important, yes, to honor some of those sort of like tangible qualities that are important to us, but to call ourselves out when we get too caught in those, and to deepen into who he is when he thinks no one is watching, type of thing, right? So we're bringing that intuitive aspect in. And this is a journey that never really stops, because we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to have our shortcomings. But when we hold space to reward those really beautiful qualities and we value them, we bring out the best in a man and he begins to rise, right? And the last thing I'll end with on this is just raising 2 boys. And my oldest, he knows that I admire the qualities that can never be taken away. So his big heart, when he holds the door open for people, when he does things that he doesn't have to do to be a good man, to be a kind person, those are qualities that I want to bring positive attention to, because that supports him rising into a good man. But if I was focused on how good looking he was, or just these certain markers that we can all get caught in, those are things that can ultimately be taken away. And so in order to bring that balance in, it's about really bringing my attention to those soul-like qualities, so that that is in the driver's seat. in all of his interactions in his life, right? And again, holding space for us to be human within all of this too. So I hope this supports you in just like kind of deepening into your own understanding and practices around, yes, being in your feminine energy, but also having this beautiful feminine accountability attached to that. Let me know in the comments how this supports you. I always love to hear from you. I have my group waitlist back up. I am going to be offering this again in the fall. I don't have the exact dates finalized, but if you sign up on the waitlist, you will be the first notified, and those on the waitlist receive special pricing. This pricing is only for those on the waitlist. So if you're feeling inspired to consider joining us, sign up below, and I look forward to seeing you next week.